Neame, Whitstable Bay Pale Ale.
And remember, life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. This is the Neame Whitstable Bay Pale Ale, and it is a beer that is local to me. It comes from Neame. If you look on the label, it says the Faversham Steam Brewery. Now, if you looked at my video of the motorbike ride I did down to Neame during the start of the lockdown, you'll notice that there are two breweries. One is across the road from the other. One side is the Faversham Steam Brewery, or it's just called the Faversham Brewery, and on the other side you've got Neame. Effectively, it's all the same brewery. It's quite an interesting brewery. It's Britain's oldest brewery, and they produce some fantastic beer. Now, I did have a bit of a, how would I put this? I had a bit of a downer on Neame. When I first tried some Neame beer, it was down here when I first moved to Kent. Now, I'd had Neame beer before that, Spitfire and stuff like that, and I thought it was okay. Then I came down to Kent and I actually tried it nearer the source, and I really didn't like it. I had a bit of a downer. I remember trying Bishop's Finger. I tried, what was the other one? Master Brew, and there was another one as well. And for the life of me, I can't remember. Oh, was it the Oyster Stout or something? I can't remember what one it was. But I remember coming away from there thinking, Neame beer is fucking terrible. And as I say, I drank Spitfire before, and it was okay. I didn't mind it. And that would have been about 7 years ago when I started drinking Neame beer down here in Kent. And as I say, I didn't like it. And then I tried it in a few other pubs, and it wasn't bad. And I will put that down to me tasting beer in a pub that sold or didn't know how to store the beer and pour it. That pub's now shut down, and even when I got back into drinking Neame beer, I'd go there occasionally, and it was a music venue. They had music there as well, and I would drink Neame beer, and I'd always remark how bad the beer was there. I don't know whether that's contributed to its demise, but there you go. And I did speak to an old landlord who used to run a few pubs down here, and he told me a few dodgy practices that Neame did. I'm not going to go into them here because I could get myself in trouble, but there was a few that were pretty unsavoury, I think. Treating the customer with contempt is the best way I can put it, and I'm going to leave it there because I really don't want to get myself in trouble. I don't want to get this video taken down. I don't want to get the channel taken down. I see that other fella's had his channel taken down. What's his name? The Beer Hooligan. Oh, he was asking for it. He's a fucking idiot, that bloke. And yeah, he banned me from his channel. He wouldn't let me. And the thing is, all I did was I just corrected him. He used to come out with these historical facts, and they were absolute bullshit. And I'd correct him on it, and he got the ump, and he wouldn't let me comment, or just ignore my comments, and then he banned me from the channel. But yeah, fuck him. He was an Arsenal fan anyway. And there you go. Anyway, back to the beer. Neame, oldest brewery in Britain, 1698. They were formed, and they have a beer to commemorate that, and it's a very good beer. So if you see the 1698, very good indeed. This is their pale ale. Now, as I say, it's come under the Faversham, or Whitstable Bay, I should say. That's like a sub-brand of Neame, and it's named after, obviously, Whitstable Bay, famous for the oysters. If you've never been there, I strongly suggest you get down there. It is absolutely gorgeous down there, and on a summer's day, you cannot beat it. The locals, or one local in particular, really had to hump with me when I went down there on the Harley, and I'll give it. The streets are quite narrow. I give it a little bit of a rev, because a couple of, as I was going past, someone was saying, got a couple of lads, young lads. There's only about sort of teenagers, young teenagers or whatever, telling me to give it a rev, and I just give it a little bit of a rev. Didn't crack it too far open, and it was fucking deafening because the streets were so narrow, and it's got quite a loud exhaust on it as well. And this old boy, he must have been about, well, early 70s, he turned around, and the abuse I got, it was quite funny actually. I was laughing, he couldn't see my face because I had my helmet on, but I was fucking pissing myself. It was so funny, and his face was just, you know, his veins popping out of his head and everything. Anyway, enough about that. But as I say, do get yourself down to Whistable Bay if you can. It is absolutely brilliant. I've been down there, as I say, on the bikes. I went down there with the missus, took the dogs down there on the beach. It's quite a pebbly beach. It's a sort of a mixture of sand and pebble, but it's really nice. And there's some good pubs around there. Most of them are Shepherd Neame, and there's some good restaurants down there if you're eating, or you're into, you know, sitting down for meals and all that. Then there's some good ones around there. There's also another brewery around there. I think it's the Whitstable Brewery, and they're based in one of the restaurants. It's like a micro brewery, and I've reviewed a couple of the beers on the channel. Not that great, to be honest, but there you go. Anyway, this is, as I say, it's of a range of beers. Whitstable Bay, they do a red IPA, they do a stout, they do an organic ale, and they do a lager as well. I think I've actually, yes I have had the lager. They do I don't get why Shepherd Neame do so many lagers. I'm not sure whether they're rebadging stuff, but you've got the Spitfire lager that they do, or they did do, the Whitstable Bay lager. They also brew the Samuel Adams stuff under contract. They used to brew Asahi under contract. I don't know what's happened there, but I know Asahi, the Japanese beer, that was brewed at Shepherd Neame. They also do a lot of contract brewing for supermarkets, Shepherd Neame, and to be honest, it really isn't that great. The stuff they do, is it Aldi? I never remember whether it's Lidl or Aldi. It's one of the two. Either way, it's not great. If you're going to drink Shepherd Neame beer, drink stuff from their own range, the Shepherd Neame range. I do recommend the India Pale Ale that they do. It's one of the best I've tasted. I absolutely love it. As I say, the 1698 is really good, and they do some others as well. They do the double stout. Now, if you're into intense stouts and you like that really harsh roasted malt flavour, you're going to love that double stout. It's really nice. They also do Spitfire, which is a good solid beer. Bishop's Finger, really nice beer, really good. You can really taste the Kent hops in there. It was gorgeous. And then you've got this stuff in a clear bottle, and the Whistable Bay stuff is all in clear bottles, and it fucking winds me up no end. And they do the Master Brew in clear bottles, they do the Spitfire in clear bottles, they do the Bishop's Finger in clear bottles, and you just think, fucking stop doing it, because it goes skunky, as if you didn't know. And that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to rant and rave. So with that in mind, let's get it open and let's see what's going on. Right, 500ml bottle, 4%. It is a golden ale. It says on the side, Whistable combines old seaside charm with modern bohemian vibe, and this is reflected in the Whitstable Bay collection. That is a pretty good summary of Whitstable. If you can imagine a better Brighton, that's what Whitstable Bay is like. I quite like Whitstable Bay. As I say, it's really nice. Get yourself down there. And it says, this thirst-quenching pale ale is inspired by brisk walks along the beach, past the iconic old Neptune. I think, yeah, that's the big sailing ship that's down there, some sort of yacht or whatever. And it's crafted using aromatic Challenger and Styrian Goldings hops. I was looking for the brew sheet. I haven't got it on the website, but Styrian Goldings and Challenger. Interesting. Delivering a fruity, refreshing taste. Now, as I say, I have tried this before. I thought I'd reviewed it on the channel, but I hadn't. But I haven't drunk it in a good long while. So this will be almost like a revisiting for me, even though I haven't reviewed it on the channel. So let's stop gassing, get this beer open. Right, I don't know what Percy is barking at, but I bet the old octopus mouth is going 10 to the dozen.
What the fuck is going on? Hey? What's going on? Oh, you bastard.
And there you go. Right, there is the cap. It's a really insipid looking cap with a design on it. That's supposed to be that ship, the Neptune. I think it must be some sort of oyster. And it is renowned for its oysters. You can see all the shells on the beach. And it fucking stinks as well, but you can see all them shells on there. They really are renowned for the oysters, hence the name, the Oyster Stout as well. But there you go. Right, now here it is in the glass. Now that is a pale ale, and it looks like a pale ale on the nose. You can really smell them herbal Styrian Goldings, and there's some fruity aromas coming through there as well. It's like an orange zest, like a marmalade type aroma. But there's a certain flavour I get with a lot of the Shepherd Neame beers. Some people don't like it. The little Welsh fella on the craft, is it Real Ale craft beer or something? He reckons that's copper. It's not. It's like a herbal, very strong herbal note that you get if you've ever picked up like hop cones, full cone hops, and you sniff them. That's what it reminds me of, and I get that in the Bishop's Finger beer. I get it in the Spitfire now and again, not so much in the Master Brew, but certainly in Bishop's Finger. Yeah, and it does smell quite nice, quite fruity as well. That jammy, well, no, it's not jammy, what I'm talking about, it's marmalade. Idiot. There it is. It looks like a nice pint. Let's see what it tastes like. Bottoms up. And that's nice. Yeah, there's a sweetness to it, and it's almost like crystal malt. And the finish on it is almost like a cross between biscuit and caramel malt. There's big herbal notes coming from the Styrian Goldings that are in there, and I'm just looking to see if it's got anything about the malt, but it doesn't say anything. Okay, fair enough. It's nice. Now, if you like Shepherd Neame beer, I think you're going to like this because it's got that typical Shepherd Neame flavour to it, and it comes through in abundance. But there is a sweetness to it, like a caramel type sweetness, which I don't know whether they put a little bit of crystal malt in there. I'm not sure. I think if they had have done, it would have been on the side of the bottle, but they haven't put it on there. I don't know how he comes up with it's got like a copper taste to it. It hasn't got a copper taste to it at all. He said that about all the... This is the fella off the Real Ale Craft Beer channel. He said all Shepherd Neame beer has got that. I'm not getting that copper flavour. I really can't get it. I don't know what he's talking about. This is actually really nice. It reminds me a little bit of the India Pale Ale. It's got certain similarities within the flavour, certainly with the malt. It's got that nice sweet, well, is it sweet? It's more a cross between a fruity hop flavour and a caramel malt flavour, which gives it a nice sweetness. There is a little bit of that orange zest in there, but it's subtle. It's not as big as it is on the aroma. That's really good. I really like that. And the Whitstable Bay stuff, I've tried they used to do a ruby ale. I'm sure they did a ruby ale in the Whitstable Bay range. That's not advertised on the site. But I remember going into a pub in London, of all places, obviously before the lockdown, and they had bottles of this Shepherd Neame, well, the Whitstable Bay Ruby Ale, and I remember drinking that, and it was really good. I really liked it. But this is a real nice pale ale. I do like it. Typically English as well. It's not. There's no way you'd misconstrue that for being an American pale ale. This is traditional British beer at its best. Oh, that's really nice. It's really drinkable as well. And the more it goes down, the more I'm liking it. And it's 4% as well. So that is a really good session pale ale. And I've forgotten just how good this stuff is. Now, don't get me wrong. Shepherd Neame beer is good. And where I live down here in Kent, it's quite widely available, both on draft and in bottles. I mean, most of the local supermarkets around here, they all carry Shepherd Neame beer. It wouldn't make sense not to. And I remember Aldi. I haven't been in Aldi in a while now. I've been going to Morrison's since they've got all them cracking beers in there. But I remember Aldi and both Aldi and Lidl, fucking hell, Lidl. They were doing stuff like Bishop's Finger for £1.25 a bottle and Spitfire for £1.25, and I used to lap that up. I would just be filling the basket up with that sort of stuff. You can't go wrong for that price. I don't know how Shepherd Neame are making a profit with that, but this was I got this from Morrison's. This was about £2 something a bottle, but it's good. I like it. So what is the verdict on Whitstable Bay Pale Ale? Shepherd Neame Whitstable Bay Pale Ale. It's really nice, and I've forgotten just how good it really is, because I tried this over a year ago, and I'm sure I thought I'd reviewed it on the channel, and somebody mentioned it to me a while back, and I thought, I'm going to have a look at that. You know, I don't remember that review, and then I realised I've obviously reviewed it. I don't know how long ago it was, but it didn't go up on the channel for some reason. I don't know why. So here's me reviewing it officially, and it's good. It's not good. It's better than good. It is really good, and it's something that Shepherd Neame excel in, and that's just good beer. Now, I know there's a lot of people in Kent will slag off Shepherd Neame for various reasons, and they do have some, or used to. I'll put that disclaimer in. They had some questionable practices concerning their pubs. I'm not going to go into more detail in that, but the end result is good beer. Now, I'm not. Should I compare them to Brewdog? No, I'm not going to. I'm going to sound like a broken record. I've got some fixation on Brewdog, but I'm not. Shepherd Neame are nothing like Brewdog. Shepherd Neame have been around since 1698, and they get things right. And I like their beer, and this is no exception. The Whitstable Bay range, I really should review all of them, because I forgot just how good they were. And I see them every day well, not every day, but most times when I go in the shops or I go in the supermarket, I always see some of the Whitstable Bay stuff that's carried around here. And I don't know why I haven't reviewed it, probably because it's in a clear bottle, but then I've reviewed all the other Shepherd Neame beers, so I've really got no excuse. So watch this space for the upcoming Whitstable Bay reviews. As for this stuff, it's fantastic. I really like it. It's a really good session pale ale. However, I don't think it's the best pale ale I've tried. That would go to, it's not bad, don't get me wrong, it is really good. I don't think it's as good as stuff like the Timothy Taylor, Landlord. Whether that's a pale ale or not, I don't know. They've even classed Speckled Hen as a pale ale now, so what does pale ale mean? Who knows? But for me, the Sussex from the Hepworth Brewery, that was one of the best. It was really good. And there's other pale ales out there as well. The Sam Smith's pale ale is very good. This stuff as well, that's another good one. And there's probably some others that I've reviewed. I'm sure the Elgood Pale Ale, I mean, they're a fantastic brewery, Elgood. I don't think I've reviewed that yet, but their pale ale, I'd imagine, is really good. So there's some good ones out there, and the competition is pretty strong. And this is a good one. I'm going to give it, I'm toying between 8.5 and 9. The clear bottle is saying 8.5, but they're local and all that. And that really shouldn't come into it. I'm going purely on the taste and the value for money. Round here, it's just over £2. It's a really good beer. I like it. I'm going to give it 8.5, and that's a solid 8.5. But you may think differently. And I'll tell you what, if you want a summer drink and you don't want to drink lager, this is fantastic. It's very refreshing. It's 4%, as I say, so you can drink this, you know, if you're going to have quite a few of them, and you won't get too mullers. And it's so Moorish. It's one of them creeper beers. The more you drink, the nicer it gets. And it's got that typical Shepherd Neame hoppy flavour. And it's good. So that's going to get an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely recommended. Get yourself down to a supermarket. Certainly if you live in Kent. You may struggle in other parts of the country. You'd need to go to a big supermarket, I think, to get that. Or even if you want to head into a Shepherd Neame pub and try it on draft. I'm sure it's going to be good. But this is well worth an 8.5, a solid 8.5 out of 10, and it's recommended. And remember, beer is working class champagne.